Our story opens in the Holy Nation United Sanctuary. Before the rule of the iconic King Alfred, the King of Knights Azel held the throne. The Swordsmen of Light were the most notable troop of Royal Paladin. They were Amez, Unos, Laura, Grawl, and Laruse. Working directly under the Prince of Royal Paladin, Alfred, the Swordsmen of Light were the first to test the powerful new blaster armaments. The blaster armaments were powerful magic weapons developed by the genius weaponsmith Blastede. First to test them was Laruse, as he was the first member of the Swordsmen of Light. Wielding the blaster javelin, he became Swordsman of Light, Blaster Javelin Laruse. While Blaster Javelin was a powerful weapon, Laruse still felt that his abilities paled in comparison to that of Amez. This inferiority complex drew Laruse to form a bond with the youngest Swordsman of Light, Unos. Unos too felt a pressure to match Amez's feats in combat. The two of them formed a strong friendship during their time in the Swordsmen of Light. Laura bore witness to the envy in each of their hearts, and became quite concerned for Unos' safety. She took it upon herself to become an older sister to Unos. This brought Unos into contact with Laura's close friend Grawl. Eventually, a tight familial bond formed between Unos, Laruse, Laura, and Grawl. Unfortunately, tragedy befell Royal Paladin. In an attack known as the Ubiquitous Ogre Incident, the King of Knights Azel was killed, and Thingsaver Dragon, the Guardian of United Sanctuary, was close behind. A grieving Blastede, wielding a blaster armament corrupted by his traumatic emotions, stabbed Thingsaver Dragon. Rather than ending the dragon's life, like intended, the blaster armament merely filled him with a new dark energy. Thingsaver Dragon was no longer a guardian. Instead, he took the corrupted blaster lance for himself and became Phantom Blaster Dragon, the first of the Shadow Paladins. Phantom Blaster lured Blastede to his side, molding him into a warrior fit to oppose the new King of Knights. Blastede became the second Shadow Paladin, the Dark Dictator. This was the beginning of a turbulent era for Royal Paladin. At the same time that Blastede was being corrupted by the Blaster Lance, magnifying his emotion, Laruse began to feel the side effects of his own weapon. Corrupted by his lust for power and his envy for Amez, Laruse was removed from Royal Paladin. Operating in secret, Phantom Blaster Dragon worked with the Dark Dictator to develop more blaster armaments. Phantom Blaster Dragon gifted Unos, Grawl, and Laura the Blaster Blade, Blaster Axe, and Blaster Rapier. Together, they continued to defend the Sanctuary. Laura and Grawl had their usual friendly arguments, which Laura usually won. They fought and trained together, and everything seemed like it was going to work out perfectly okay. Then, the second Ubiquitous Ogre Incident began. An attack on the United Sanctuary by an army of ogres led to the defeat of Laura, Grawl, and Unos. The three of them would have died if not for the blaster armaments improving their natural healing capabilities. In this desperate situation, the last Swordsman of Light, Amez, took hold of Unos' blaster blade. He was able to unlock its true power and drive off the ogres to defend the King of Knights. Thanks to this, Amez became a well-known hero. He earned a title that Cardfighters all around the world are quite familiar with. Swordsman of Light Amez had become the one and only Blaster Blade. Alfred appointed him as his first knight, his right hand. While on paper, Blaster Blade had handed the position on to the lesser-known King's Adjutant Knight Galahut, Blaster Blade was obviously Alfred's most trusted knight. Meanwhile, Laura, Grawl, and Unos were lured in by Phantom Blaster Dragon. The three of them couldn't believe that Blaster Blade was receiving so much praise for the battle that they all almost lost their lives in as well. The one most tempted by darkness was Unos, but of course, Grawl and Laura would not abandon him. These new members of Shadow Paladin were reunited with their old friend Laruse, and Unos was presented with a new blaster armament. The four of them had become Blaster Javelin, Blaster Axe, Blaster Rapier, and finally, Unos had become Blaster Dark. Hey, I'm Gleaming Garmore, and this is the first installment in Gleaming Card Lore, a new series where I break down some of my favorite stories in Vanguard. For now, it's mainly cards, but who knows? I might talk about how the anime integrates some of these aspects of lore. If you enjoyed the first episode, maybe consider dropping a sub. Please don't make me pull out the chart that says 95% of people watching my videos aren't subscribed. I know you've seen those charts a lot, and I also know that they work, so don't make me do it.